Let us begin not with a question of how, but of why. You have been told the world is a marketplace. You are told to build your personal brand, to monetize your hobbies, to become a content creator, a CEO, a side hustle mogul. The noise is deafening, and in that noise, predators thrive. They promise you wealth that requires no wait. They offer shortcuts that lead off cliffs. So we will start by dismantling the very lure they use, the fantasy of easy money. Look at the landscape they paint for you. Click here to earn hundreds an hour. Take this simple quiz to unlock secret crypto profits. Pay for this webinar, and the money will flow while you sleep. It is a symphony of desperation, playing a tune they know you are straining to hear. The student budget is tight. The pressure is immense. The desire for independence is a fire. And they will gladly pour gasoline on that fire to watch you burn. Because the first and most important truth you must absorb, the armor you must forge for yourself, is this: real money is never a one-way transaction. It is not a gift. It is not a secret. It is an exchange. Every legitimate dollar in the history of commerce has moved from one hand to another in return for something of perceived value: a product, a service, a solution to a problem, a relief from a pain. The scammer bypasses this fundamental law of reality. They sell you the illusion of the end result, the cash in your account, while carefully omitting the valuable thing you are meant to provide. Or worse, they redefine the valuable thing. The valuable thing becomes your initial payment to them, your personal data, your identity, or your unwitting role in laundering stolen funds. They are not building a marketplace, they are setting a trap. The bait is the fantasy of bypassing the exchange. Your greatest weapon, therefore, is to shift your entire mindset. Stop searching for money. Start searching for value you can provide. This is not a semantic trick. It is a tactical recalibration. When you sit down at your computer, you must not type "easy money" for students. That query is a beacon for every vulture in the digital sky. You must instead audit your own position. You are a student. You are surrounded by knowledge, by academic pressure, by a specific demographic of peers. What problems exist here? What needs are unmet? Your value is not some mythical future version of yourself with a diploma. It is the skills you are honing right now. It is the perspective you have right now. It is the time you can manage right now. Can you explain a complex concept in calculus that baffles your classmates? That is value. Can you design a compelling flyer for a campus event? That is value. Can you organize a chaotic closet, troubleshoot a Wi-Fi issue for a neighbor, patiently edit a rambling essay? These are all units of value. The marketplace is not a mysterious distant land. It is the dormitory hallway. It is the local community board. It is the freelance platform where a small business owner is desperately seeking someone who can articulate a thought clearly, a skill your last English paper drilled into you. The scammer fears this mindset because it makes you invisible to their lures. When you are focused on the exchange, their offer crumbles under the slightest scrutiny. Earn $500 a day from your phone, you will see, and instead of feeling a leap of excitement, you will feel a cold, logical question: what valuable service or product am I providing to justify that $500? The advertisement will not have an answer. It will speak only of financial freedom and the system. You will already have moved on, because you are not a target for fantasy anymore. You are a practitioner of reality. You are looking for a problem you can solve. The money that follows will be real, earned, and yours. It will have weight, and things with weight cannot be blown away by the empty promises of strangers in the dark. This is your first and most crucial lesson. Build your effort on the solid ground of value, not the shifting sands of wishful thinking. The world does not owe you a living, but it will pay you for a service. Be someone who serves, not someone who seeks to be served. Your future self will thank you for the integrity of that foundation. So you have accepted the first rule. You are not hunting for phantom money. You are preparing for an exchange of value. Good. But a soldier does not enter a battlefield without first taking inventory of his armory. You must do the same. You look in the mirror and see a student, perhaps burdened by debt, pressed for time. They want you to see a victim. I need you to see an asset portfolio. You are not empty-handed. You are carrying more value than you realize. We will now conduct an audit, a ruthless, honest assessment of the weapons already at your disposal. Begin with your primary weapon, your mind. It is being trained, even now. What specific knowledge is being drilled into it? Are you mastering the logic of code, the laws of physics, the grammar of a foreign language, the principles of graphic design? Do not dismiss this as just homework. That is the training. The service you can provide is the application of that training. Tutoring is the most direct exchange, your mastery of a subject for another's struggle in their payment. But look deeper. That essay you are writing demonstrates an ability to research and communicate. That is a service. The spreadsheet you are building for a group project shows organization analysis. That is a service. Your mind is not a passive receptacle. It is a factory, and its current output has market value. List every technical or academic skill you are accumulating. They are not lines on a future resume. They are tools in your current toolkit. Now, move to your physical assets. Look at your environment. Your laptop is not just for entertainment. It is a production studio, a writing desk, a design lab. Your smartphone is not just for social media. It is a camera, a recording device, a mobile office. Your student ID is not just for library access. It is a key. It unlocks campus employment portals, subsidized software, academic journals, research studies that pay participants. That dorm room or that local coffee shop where you study, that is your first office. These are not trivial details. A scammer will tell you that you need to buy their special software, their exclusive platform, their starter kit to begin. They are selling you a tool you already own. Your audit reveals this. You already possess the base of operations, but there is a more subtle asset, your position. You are embedded in a dense ecosystem of need, the university. You walk past 100 problems every day that someone would pay to have solved. The flyers plastered on every board are a catalog of demands. Need moving help, seeking guitar lessons, lost cat, study group for Econ 101. These are not clutter, they are market signals. Your proximity is an advantage no remote scammer can claim. You are on the scene. You have a network, your classmates, your professors, your local community. This network is not for gossip. It is your first client list. Your reputation will be built here, one solved problem at a time. A neighbor needs their bike fixed. A senior needs their tech set up. A club needs a logo. See the need. Apply your toolkit. That is the exchange. Do not neglect the asset of your time. It is finite, which makes it valuable. But you must invest it, not merely spend it. A high-return campus job, a research assistant, a lab monitor, a campus tour guide, is a strategic investment. It trades hours for dollars, yes, but also for credibility, for network expansion, for a line on an audit that future clients will respect. Contrast this with the scammer's offer of data entry for $100 an hour. Your audit tells you that is mathematically impossible for a legitimate business. Your time, applied through legitimate channels, has a known honest rate. You must know that rate. This audit is your shield. When the too good to be true offer appears, you will not view it through a lens of desperate hope. You will view it through the cold ledger of your inventory. The offer promises easy money for simple tasks. Check your ledger. Do you possess a skill that justifies that payment? No. The offer requires you to pay for access. Check your ledger. Do you already own tools that could provide a similar service? Yes. The offer is vague, with no clear connection between your effort and the client's need. Check your ledger. Your own model for exchange is built on direct, clear problem solving. The mismatch is apparent. You are not starting from zero. You are mobilizing existing resources. You are standing in your own armory and declaring it sufficient to begin the honest fight. Do not let them convince you that you are powerless until you give them money. The truth is the opposite. Your power is precisely why they want to trick you into buying what you already have. Begin with what is in front of you. The first contract you fulfill might be the one you write for yourself. Now you understand the principle, value for value. You have taken inventory of your armory. You see the tools. But you look at the marketplace and it seems like a chaotic shadowed alley, full of whispers and closed doors. You need light, you need known pa. There are no guarantees, but there are proven avenues. Roads that have carried others before you, roads where the rules are clear and the dangers can be seen. We will map 3 of them. Not get-rich-quick schemes, not fantasies, operational lanes. First, the lane of direct skill application. This is the most straightforward translation of your audit into income. You identified a skill. Now find the platform or the local outlet that connects that skill to someone who needs it. For the writer, the designer, the coder, the editor, there are vetted freelance marketplaces. They are competitive, yes. They are not fairy tales, but they are real. Create a profile. Start small. Your first job is not to make a fortune, it is to earn a review. To build a reputation, 1 5-star rating at a time, for the academic tutoring platforms or the campus learning center itself. Your value is your recent mastery of the material. You are not a distant expert, you are a proficient ally who just navigated the same obstacle. This lane requires you to professionalize your skill, to package it, to deliver reliably. The money follows the proof of competence. Second, the lane of applied time and effort. This is for the value of your diligence, your labor, your willingness to show up and execute. But we must be strategic. Not all hours are equal. A high-return campus job, a resident advisor, a teaching assistant, a research assistant, pays more than just a wage. It pays in credibility, in network, and housing credit. It invests your time back into your environment. It is a legitimate system with clear rules and protections. Off-campus, look for gigs that leverage your physical presence, event staffing for local concerts or conferences, moving help for families, responsible pet care. These are not glamorous, they are honest. You trade effort for capital. The key is to use these roles to observe, to build references, to understand how businesses operate from the ground floor. This lane teaches you the weight of $1 earned by sweat and presence, a lesson no scam can ever replicate. Third, the lane of the digital ecosystem. This is where many are lured into the darkness, so tread with extreme caution. I am not speaking of mysterious passive income schemes. I am speaking of creating a genuine digital asset. This leverages your knowledge, your curation skill, your ability to instruct or entertain. Do you understand a niche academic topic? You could create a set of well-designed study guides or formula sheets and sell them as digital downloads. Are you a master of a specific software or a creative process? You could record a concise, no-fluff tutorial. This is not about becoming a viral sensation. It is about productizing your competence into something that can be purchased once and downloaded 100 times. The initial effort is high. The integrity must be flawless. But it builds an asset that works for you while you sleep, not through magic, but through the legitimate scalability of a well-made product. And do not overlook the lane right at your feet, local and physical arbitrage. This is seeing value where others see clutter. The textbook buyback cycle is a seasonal market. The careful resale of quality used furniture at semester's end, the responsible flipping of items from thrift stores after you have learned to identify quality. This lane requires research, patience, and an eye for real worth. It is the tangible practice of the value principle. You identify an undervalued asset. You improve it by cleaning, testing, bundling, and you facilitate a fair exchange. These lanes are not mutually exclusive. You may walk more than one, but they all share a critical, non-negotiable feature: transparency of process. In each, you can see the chain of value. The client has a need. You have a skill or asset that addresses it. You agree on terms. You fulfill. You get paid. There are no black boxes, no proprietary systems. The money is not a mystery. It is a direct result of a completed task, a provided service, a sold item. This is how you move from theory to operation. You choose a lane that aligns with your audited skills. You take the first, small, legitimate step. You deliver value with ruthless consistency. The money that returns to you will be clean, earned, and yours. It will not be a phantom in a bank account, attached to shame and regret. It will be a foundation. Walk the lighted path. The shadows offer nothing but empty promises. Now you have your inventory. You see the lit paths ahead. But understand this, the predators have studied those paths as well. They know where honest ambition walks. They do not wait in the middle of a dark field. They lurk at the edges of the legitimate marketplace, camouflaged as opportunity, speaking the language of hustle. Their power is not in their complexity, but in your hope. To defeat them, you must memorize their tactics. You must learn to see the flaw in the offer, the crack in the facade. Consider these not as warnings, but as strategic intelligence, universal red flags that will reveal the trap before the jaws close. The first and most cardinal rule, if it sounds too good to be true, it is a law of the universe, not a piece of cynical advice. You must internalize this. Earn $500 a day from your phone with no experience. This is not an exciting possibility. It is a mathematical and economic impossibility for a legitimate enterprise. Break it down. That is over $15,000 a month for unskilled labor performed on a device in your pocket. What valuable service could you possibly be rendering to justify that sum? There is none. The value being extracted is not from your labo, but from your initial payment, your data, or your participation in a fraud. When you see this flag, you do not feel temptation. You feel contempt. You have already audited your own value. You know what it is worth. An offer that wildly exceeds that known rate is not a compliment. It is an insult to your intelligence. Then, listen for the transaction that is backwards. The you pay us model, any job, opportunity, or exclusive system that requires you to pay an upfront fee to begin work is a parasite, not a partner. They will sell you a starter kit, a mandatory training course, software access, or a membership. Their logic is inverted. In a real job, a company invests in you because they believe your labor will generate more value than your cost. Here, you are the one making the investment, based on a promise. Your risk, their reward. This is the hallmark of a pyramid, a scam, or a scheme designed to profit from the sale of the dream itself, not from any product or service you will ever deliver. Your toolkit is already stocked. You do not need to buy the tools from the person offering you the job. Beware of vagueness. A legitimate exchange is specific. A job posting will describe duties. A freelance gig will outline deliverables. A business explains its product. The scammer deals in glorious, glittering generalities. Unlock financial freedom. Be your own boss. Join our winning team. Learn the secrets the rich don't want you to know. These are emotional triggers, not job descriptions. If you ask, what specific task will I perform to earn this money? And the answer is cloudy, evasive, or returns to more hype, you are not talking to an employer. You are talking to a propagandist. They cannot describe the value chain because it does not exist. The only clear transaction is you paying them. And you must be prepared for the most dangerous trap of all, the one that wears the disguise of legitimacy, the overpayment or check-cashing scam. This is a direct assault on your honesty and your bank account. It often targets those in creative fields or administrative roles. You will receive a check, often for a significant amount, from a client or employer. The explanation will be plausible. It's for equipment. It's in advance. There was an accounting error. You are instructed to deposit the check and wire a portion of the funds elsewhere, to a vendor, a trainer, a partner. The check will be fake. It will take days or weeks for your bank to discover the fraud. But the money you wired will be real, instantaneous, and utterly untraceable. By the time the check bounces, your money is gone, and you are liable for the full amount. The rule is absolute. Any arrangement where you are asked to deposit a check and wire any portion of the funds is 100% fraud. No legitimate business operates this way, ever. Pressure is their ally. This offer expires tonight. We only have one spot left. Don't miss your chance. This is not enthusiasm. It is a tactic to bypass your critical mind, to force you to act on fear of loss rather than rational assessment. A real opportunity can withstand scrutiny. It can wait for you to sleep on it, to research, to consult your checklist. These red flags are not separate dangers. They are a single system of deception designed to exploit hope, circumvent logic, and profit from desperation. See them for what they are, the predictable, clumsy patterns of a coward who cannot compete in an honest exchange of value. Memorize these patterns. Let them become instinct. When you see one, you do not hesitate, you disengage. Your time, your effort, and your integrity are assets far too valuable to be spent in the shadow of a lie. Walk away. It is not a retreat, it is a tactical victory. You know. Red flags. You see the patterns. But in the moment, when an offer lands before you, clean website, polished language, a thread of plausibility, doubt can creep in. Hope is a resilient opponent, so you must not rely on instinct alone. You need a protocol, a series of deliberate, unemotional actions that will expose the truth before you invest a single minute of your effort or a single cent of your capital. This is your pre-engagement checklist. It takes 5 minutes. It is the difference between walking into an ambush and securing the high ground. The first move is always external verification. Do not trust the entity's own story. Silence their narrative and seek the chorus of the crowd. Take the company name, the platform name, the individual's name, and add one word, scam. Then add another, reviews. Then search. Do not just glance at the first page. Read the third page. Look for patterns in the complaints. Are they all about unexpected fees, broken promises of payment, aggressive upsells? A single negative review can be an anomaly. A cluster of identical complaints is a data set. Check the Better Business Bureau. Look them up on the Federal Trade Commission's consumer site. This is not paranoia. It is basic reconnaissance. A legitimate enterprise has a traceable, reviewable history. A ghost does not. Next, interrogate the payment mechanism. How are you to be paid? This is a telltale sign. Standard, secure methods are the hallmark of legitimacy. Direct deposit to a bank account, a payment processed through a reputable freelance platform with built-in escrow, a PayPal transaction for goods and services that offers purchase protection. Now contrast this with the methods of the shadow world. They will demand payment via wire transfer, which is instant and irreversible. They will ask for gift cards, which are untraceable cash. They will insist on cryptocurrency, sent to a private wallet, a transaction with no recourse, no customer service, no undo button. If the payment method feels unusual, secretive, or deliberately difficult to trace, it is not an innovation, it is a getaway car. Then, scrutinize the communication and professionalism. A legitimate job or client engagement is a professional transaction. Is the communication clear, grammatical, and focused on the task? Do they have a professional email domain that matches their company website, not a free Gmail or Yahoo account? Can you find a physical address, a verifiable phone number? Call it. Does a human being answer, representing the company, or does it ring into a void? The scammer operates from behind a curtain of digital anonymity. They will often communicate in a rushed, hype-filled manner, laced with typos and emotional manipulation. Their website may be a shallow template, full of stock photos and grandiose claims, but devoid of specific details about leadership, location, or client work. A real business stands in the light. A fraud hides in the glare of its own flashy promises. Finally, you must practice the trust calculation. This is the synthesis. You have gathered the intelligence. Now you weigh the evidence against the most accurate instrument you possess, your own calibrated judgment. Does this opportunity align with the principle of direct value exchange you have built? Is the chain from your effort to the client's need to your payment clear and logical? Or are there unexplained gaps, mysterious middlemen systems that must be taken on faith? Your gut is not a frivolous feeling. It is your subconscious processing the discrepancies between what is being promised and every legitimate model you have studied. If something feels off, if a detail nags at you, do not rationalize it. Honor it. In the world of opportunity, there is no such thing as a chance you can't afford to miss. There are only well-vetted paths and poorly vetted traps. The former are abundant for those who know how to look. This checklist is your ritual. It is the deliberate process that separates the strategist from the victim. You are not being offered a favor. You are entering a potential engagement. You have every right, every responsibility to conduct due diligence. The person on the other end will either respect this professionalism or they will reveal their desperation for you to skip it. Complete the protocol. If it passes, you may proceed with caution. If it fails on any single point, you have your answer. Do not negotiate with the evidence. Do not make excuses for them. Your time is the one asset you can never recover. Spend these 5 minutes to save yourself 5,000 regrets. You have the map. You have the protocol. You have identified a legitimate path. The work begins. But understand this, the transition from principle to practice is where most failures occur, not from a lack of opportunity, but from a lack of operational discipline. You are no longer just a student seeking cash. You are a sole proprietor of your own effort. You must begin not with a sprint, but with a calculated, secure first step. You must build not just income, but infrastructure. This is how you move from surviving an offer to building something that lasts. Your first engagement is a probe, not a commitment. Start small. If it is a freelance platform, bid on a modest, well-defined project. If it is a local service, offer it to one neighbor first. If it is selling an item, start with a single, high-quality piece. This is your test of the waters, of your own capacity, of the client's reliability, of the payment process. The goal of this first mission is not a large payout. The goal is a successful exchange, a completed task, a satisfied party, a clean transfer of funds, and a piece of evidence, a review, a testimonial, a reference. This small victory is worth more than a dozen theoretical promises of large sums. It converts your plan into a reality. It gives you data. It builds your confidence on a foundation of something real, not imagined. As you move, you must document everything. This is not bureaucracy. It is your shield. For any engagement beyond the most trivial, you create a record, a simple email confirming the scope. As per our discussion, I will provide 3 logo concepts by Friday for $150. A text message acknowledging receipt of payment. A note of the date, the client's name, the agreed terms. This takes 60 seconds. It eliminates the he said, she said that predators and even well-meaning but disorganized people will use to blur the lines. In the digital world, your paper trail is your power. It defines the boundaries of the exchange. It is the contract you have with yourself and with them to uphold professionalism. If someone balks at this simple clarity, they are not a client you want. They are a problem you just avoided. Now, you must secure your earnings. The money arrives. It is real. This is the moment of vulnerability. You are not a corporation with an accounting department. You are an individual. That means you must understand the mechanics. If you are paid through a platform, know their fee, structure, and withdrawal timeline. If you are paid directly, use secure methods. Understand that this income is not invisible. You are responsible for tracking it. Set aside a percentage, a quarter perhaps, in a separate account from the moment it hits your hands. This is for tax obligations. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. Treat this not as a burden, but as the cost of your legitimacy. You are playing by the rules of the real economy now. That is your greatest protection against those who operate outside of them. Throughout this, you must manage your greatest asset, your reputation. Every completed task, every clear communication, every on-time delivery is a brick in a structure that will outlast any single payment. Your name becomes associated with reliability, with quality, with integrity. This reputation will bring clients to you. It will allow you to increase your rates. It will give you the confidence to walk away from offers that are beneath that standard. The scammer has no reputation. They have a facade they must constantly rebuild. You are building something solid, transaction by honest transaction. This is the ultimate outcome. You are not just avoiding a trap. You are constructing an edifice. The money is a result, a byproduct of a system you have built, a system based on audited skills, chosen pathways, rigorous vetting, and professional execution. You are becoming resilient. You are learning the language of real value in a world saturated with noise. Begin with the first small, secure step. Protect it, document it, learn from it. Then take the next one. Build something that cannot be taken from you.